Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hi guys, how are you? Everyone good? Everyone enjoying themselves? My name is Yaqub Zaman and alhamdulillah, this is the next lesson of Mutanabbi or poetry. Poetry is a very good thing. Poetry, I love poetry. I mean, I never used to like poetry in the past, but once I became exposed to poetry, once I started reading poetry, I started to have this love for poetry and feelings and emotions that you can get out the verses of poetry, and it actually helps me so much in understanding the Quran. I can't explain it, but it really helps me a lot in being able to understand the depths of the Quran as well. Maybe I can do a lesson on that. Maybe I can do a video on how poetry benefits a student of knowledge when it comes to learning of the Quran at a very rich, deep level. Anyway, let's carry on with this then. So قدت وقدت إليها كل أجرد سابح يؤديك غضبانا ويثنيك راضيا. قدت is from قاد يقود, which means to drive something, which means to push something, to pull something. So usually it's used for animals. قاده. So قاد is from the front, right? So when you're pulling something from the front, you're at the front and you're pulling it, you say قاد يقود. And when you're pushing something from behind, you say ساق يسوق. Okay, so qada, it means like to pull something. So you're walking and you're pulling it, right? So you're driving, you can say ilayha, right? So qada yaqudu, to lead as well. Kulla ajrada. Ajrad is from jarda. Jard means something which is barren, something that has nothing on it, and it's used for a person who has no hair. So ajrad, this person's ajrad, it means he has no hair. Mujarrad, you've heard of that word as well. And it's referring to a type of horse, the ajrad horse, right, which has no hair, so it's very thin hair. So it's basically like a war horse that is used in battles, in wars, right? The ajrad horse. Sabih is one that swims very fast. So swim, and the horse is being described as swimming because if you've seen a horse run, it kind of, bobs and weaves. It kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So it looks as though the horse is swimming. So they describe it as being sabih. It's a sabih. Yeah, it's like running on the ground, but it's as though it's swimming. يؤديك أدى يؤدي تأدية. أدى يؤدي تأدية. So أدى يؤدي is from the word أدى, to fulfill, to carry out. أدى يؤدي, it means it kind of gets a person there. So for example, like if I say that this car أدتني إلى London, it means the car got me to London. أوصلني إلى London. Okay, so يؤدي أداء, like we say أداء of salat, performance of salat. Ghadban is angry, right? So Ghadban, it means angry, and it's from the word Ghadab. Maghdub alayhim in the Quran as well, it appears. Yathni, Thana Yathni, it means to twist, right? So to twist, to bend is called Thana, Thanahu. And this word Thana Yathni, it actually refers to twisting it backwards. So the returning, Raja'a yarji'u. So thana yathni. Yeah, so it's also like two is called ithnain, right? Thintain. You probably heard of that as well. And thana is actually different. That is thana, when you do the thana, the praise in salat. And some say that it's actually because you keep repeating the praise, so it's the thana. So here it's the return. Yathnika, returns you. It gets you back. So you addika, it gets you there, and yathnika, it gets you back. Radiyan, radiya yarda, which means to please, to be happy with something. ومختارة اخترت يخترت خرط is to draw a sword. Yeah, so a sword, when you draw it from its sheath, you take it out of the sleeving, right? And that sword, you take it out, you say this sword is mukhtarat. اخترت, salla safe. So اخترت is to draw it out when you're about to attack someone, right, or strike them. Madin is from Mada Yamdi, it means to carry out, execute, to carry out something, to execute something, a plan, fulfill it. Ata'a yuti'u, it means to obey. Amiran, it means amara ya'muru, to command. So the amir is the commander. Asa ya'si, it means to disobey. So disobedience, obey is asa, is ata'a, and disobey is asa ya'si. Right, asa, like the stick, it's called the asa as well. Istathnayta, istathna, right? So it's from the word thani as well that we did above. Yeah, yathnika, it's from there. So istithna, it means like you're saying something but you're exempting something from it. You're going back on what you said. So if I say I owe you £100 except 10, so I'm saying 100, then I'm going back on 10. Therefore, I only owe you 90. Istithna. So it's used for exemption in Arabic. Exemption. Istithna. Istathnayta wa ya'si, and he disobeys idha istathnayta, when you exempt something. Or sirta to become. Sara yasiru. Nahiya, naha yanha, in prohibitor. Prohibition. Right? So nahi, prohibition. So sirta, sara yasiru, from the kana, af'al. Wa asmara. So asmara, this is like from the word samar, samra. And it's actually from the color of the moon in a moonlit night. It's a bit kind of yellowish. This yellowish kind of eerie kind of color. So it's actually used for the color of wheat as well. There's a kind of like a whitish, yellowish kind of color. They call it, samar, asmar, samar loan. So yellow, this yellow kind of color, wheatish kind of color. You can say a wheaty color. I don't know if that word exists, but it does. So it refers to a spear. So the spear was described as its color. So the material that it was made of was this kind of light brownish kind of color. The ishrin, so the asma khamsa, in the words which are those five famous words, dhu, the, akhu, akha, akhi. Ishrin is 20. So if the ishrina, the one that possesses 20. Darudahu, and it's referring to the spear. So the spear that it's a kind of a size of 20 size. So you get different size spears. So this seems to be one that's 20. So they say it has 20 sort of like knots in there, or 20 zira, 20 cubits. Okay, 20 cubits. So the ishrina, it's that spear that it's 20 cubits long. Tardahu radiya yarda came before. Waridan, warada yaridu is coming before as well. It means when animals go to drink water from an oasis or a pool. Yeah, warada yaridu, to come to drink water. Wayardaka fi iradi. Awrada yuridu is to take the animal. So if you go to drink water, you say warada yaridu. But if you take something else or someone else to drink water, you say awradahu. Yeah, to take someone there. Awrada. Yeah, awrada yuridu irad. Al-khayl, it means horses. Okay, so make drink. Saqi and saqa yasqi, it means to irrigate, to feed. Right, so you feed them water, you irrigate them. Kata'ib is from the jama of katiba, which means a small army. Right, so kataba, kata'ib, an army that has been written down, that has been enlisted. So it's called the kata'ib. Manfakkat, infakka yanfakku is from, the words of fi'al naqis, infakka. Right, the one, it means to continue. Yeah, continuously. So infakka literally means to separate, to become disjointed, and ma is negating. So manfakka, it means it's not separated. Yeah, so it's from the word fakka yafukku, which means to separate, break away something. Jasa yajusu, it means to go in between, like streets, or to go in between something. You say jasa yajusu, just like in the Quran, like Allah says about in Surah Isra. Yeah, fajasu khilal ad-diyar, the people go in between, in and out between the houses. Ama'ira is the plural of imara, which means to be populated, a land which is populated where people live on it. You call that land an imara, or plural ama'ir. Jasat, we've done that before. Fayafia, fayfa, is actually a desert, a wilderness, which is the opposite of ama'ir. Yeah, a place where nobody lives, a desert land, wilderness where there's no one over there. You say fayafia, plural. Ghazawta, ghaza yaghzu is from ghazwa, a battle. Yeah. Dur is the plural of dar, which means homes, land, place where people live, city, whatever. Muluk is the plural of malik. Malik is a king. Basharat, yabashiru, it means skin to skin, literally. So it means to clash with someone or to approach something, to basharahu, directly. And nowadays in modern Arabic, they say things like, this video is mubashir, meaning it's live, it's like straight there, nothing's in between. Sanabik, sambak, actually means the sides of the hoofs. So you have the hoof, the foot, and then on the sides of the hoof, it's called the sanabik, right? The sambak. So it refers to the hooves. So you have the sanabik of the horses. Hamatun, right? Hamatun, it refers to the skull. Yeah, so the head, the skull is called the hama, and the plural is called hamat. So let's write that down then. And you probably heard this word before as well, the skull, which is for scalp or skull. Wal maghaniya is from the word maghna, which actually means a locality. So it's from the word ghana yaghni. Yeah, or ghaniya yaghna. I keep getting this confused. Ghaniya yaghna. Yeah. So it's like in the Quran, Allah says, He destroyed the people, the city, كَأَنْ لَمْ تَغْنَ بِالْأَمْسِ, as though there was no one living here at all, as though it was uninhabited before the destruction. He destroyed it so badly, it was destroyed, that it was as though no one ever lived here. So that's from the ghaniya yaghna, right? Sami'a yasma'u. So maghna, maghani is the plural. It means a place where people live, people like, and this is where the word ghina comes from as well, richness. It's like something is there, there's like, it's not an empty vacuum. Anta alladhi taghsha, ghashya yaghsha means to cover something, to actually, it's also used for, ghashya yaghsha is also used for facing something as well. So you say in Arabic, you say ghashitu hadha al-amr, it means like I faced it myself, I faced it. Mubashara, you can say. Asinna is the plural of sinan, which means spears as well. It's a type of spear. Yeah, the asinna, sinan. Awalan, first, ta'annaf, or ta'naf. Ta'naf, anf is a nose. And the Arabs say, if you are kind of showing haughtiness or pride, you say, this guy, anifa, ya'nafu. He's kind of showing his nose like, snobbing. So, ta'naf and taghsha al-asinnata thaniyan. Thaniyan, this means second, right? So second as in, like, not first. So anyway, let's look at the translation then. So, وَقُدْتَ إِلَيْهَا كُلَّ أَجْرَدَ سَابِحٍ. You led to it, so he's saying, you led to it, إِلَيْهَا, to what was mentioned before in the previous poems. كُلَّ أَجْرَدَ سَابِحٍ. Every ajrad sabih, every horse that has a clean mane, sabih or neck, sabihin, which runs very fast. يُؤَدِّيكَ غَضْبَانًا. The horse gets you there whilst you're in an angry state, or whilst the horse is in an angry state. وَيَثْنِيكَ رَاضِيًا. And it brings you back home happy. وَمُخْتَرِةٍ. And also every drawn sword which fulfills, madin, which executes. يُتِيئُكَ. It obeys you, amiran, whilst you are commanding it. وَيَعْصِي. And the sword disobeys, إِذَا اسْتَثْنَيْتَ, when you exempt for it not to cut someone. أو صرت ناهيا, or you become a prohibitor, saying don't do this. وأسمر. And also every spear that is at the length of 20, whatever that means, 20 cubits or 20 those measurements. ترضاه واردا. ترضاه, you are pleased with it when it goes and it drinks. ويرضاك. And it is pleased with you في إراده, when you pierce it into something. الخيل, the horses. ساقيا, to feed off their blood. Kataiba, such armies. Manfakkat, which continuously. Tajusu, which go in and out. The amair, residential areas on earth. Qad jasat ilayha fayafiya, which have gone through to get there. Ilayha, have gone through in and out of wildernesses, of deserts. Ghazawta biha, you fought. Biha, with them. Dur al-muluk, the homes, the lands of kings, big kings. Fabasharat, so their hooves, sanabik, have faced or have attacked or clashed. Hamata, to him, with their skulls. Wal maghaniya, and with their maghanis as well, in the places that are residential areas, populated areas. Wa anta alladhi, and you are the one. Taghsha al-asinna, who faces the spears, awalan, first and foremostly, in the front line. وَتَعْنَفُ, and you dislike, you find, you find it to be below you, ta'naf, and تَغْشَ الْأَسِنَّ, that you face the spears second, in the second row. Okay, so let's just quickly make out what's being said over here. So he's talking about, the same guys before, Abu Misk, right? So he's talking about Abu Misk, and he's praising him so much, and he's saying, Abu Misk, you're such an amazing guy. You basically, when you go and you face your enemies, you take to your enemies all the most powerful elite horses, the horses that have thin hair on their manes, the fastest horses that get you to your destination. This is supposed to be a horse, by the way, that you addika, they get you to your destination. Ghadban, the hala is either you're angry, you're so angry that you want to get your enemy, or that the horses are angry. In other words, even the horses, sorry for that face there, looks a bit too angry there. So angry, وَيَثْنِيكَ رَادِيًا, and it brings you back. In other words, your horse are so loyal, your horses are so like guaranteed victorious, that they will get you to your destination and they will bring you back successful. So they get you there angry meaning you want to attack your enemy, and they will bring you back home happy as well. So you see this kind of sentence, look at this kind of sentence now. وَقُدْتَ إِلَيْهَا كُلَّ أَجْرَدَ سَابِحٍ. The word ajrad, that horse, that image that's created in your mind, the sabih, swimming, it creates imagery inside your mind, right? And this is something which should affect your emotions as well. It triggers emotions, it triggers thoughts in your mind as well, right? The anger, your blood rushing, you addika ghadbanan, is trying to praise the horses, like the power of the horses. It gets you to your place angry, wayathnik, and it brings you back radin, as though the horses are untouched and you have been victorious. So how do we know he's been victorious? Because he comes back happy. So if you now look at this and how the Quran uses horses, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, the Quran's quality and caliber is of a much higher level than this. If you look at the two and you contrast the two, you'll see that the Quran's usage of horses is just so beautiful. And here it's nice as well, alhamdulillah, it creates a nice image, but the image is a very partial image. It's a very kind of like broken sort of image. Over there, it's a very pure, strong. And this is what you need to do when you're looking at poetry as well. So, okay, so nice smiley face for the Radian as well then. So anyway, mukhtarit is referring to swords. So the swords is a mukhtarat sword, is a sword that is a maf'ul, sword that has been drawn. So the swords that you want in a battle, remember, what kind of swords do you want? You want a sword which is basically, it's going to cut through anything. It's going to be so sharp. You call this sword a sayfun madda'. Yeah, sayfun madda' means a sword that you cut through anything. Like, those kind of katana swords, the famous katana Japanese swords, which are supposed to be one of the sharpest swords in the world. Right? It's basically that. Mukhtarit madin, you got this sword which is a madin sword, which just cuts through anything, goes mada yamdi, it just carries on. It's showing the power of the sword. Yu'tika amiran, yuti'uka amiran. Right? So this sword is like it's alive. So the mukhtarat, the sword itself, and then it's saying, like, it's personifying the sword. The sword is alive. Yuti'uka amiran. You just command the sword, cut. And the sword says, okay, master. And he just cuts. One of the cartoons. Yeah, so this sword, he's giving it life now. He's giving it persona. He's giving it, profile. He's giving it like feelings, consciousness. Yuti'uka amiran. Wa ya'si. And the sword is so violent that it will obey you when you command it. But once you command it, there is no return. That's how powerful this sword is. Ya'si, it will disobey you. It will disobey. إِذَا اسْتَثْنَيْتَ, when you make an exemption, you say to your sword, these 10 men, cut them. And then you say, no, wait, don't cut the 10th man. It will not listen to you. So if you make an exemption, it will not listen. Or if you start saying to it, don't cut, it doesn't listen. So this is like one of those, like you have those kind of violent, pit bull terriers. Yeah, so the pit bulls, wild ones, that it will listen to whatever you say, but once you release it onto your enemy, you can't get it back. It will carry out anything that it was told to do. So he's kind of giving life to this sword now. So this, if you look in the Quran, how in the verse of the Quran, when Allah commands things, like commands Jahannam, or it commands the sky, or it commands the earth, and all of them kind of they say Atayna ta'in, and the sky says we have come in obedience. It kind of gives life to these things, right? So he's using this technique here as well. He's trying to create emotions here as well. He wants you to have a connection with these things, that this sword is alive, that this sword isn't just a normal sword. Abu Misk, he not only has power over things which are living, right, things which are sensical, but he also has power over things that are nonsensical as well. This is his power. Then he talks about third thing is the spears. So the long spears are the ones difficult to kind of hold as well. So you've got to be an expert in this. So he's saying that these long swords, and he calls them Asmar di Shireen, Tardah, who is giving it life as well. it tarda, it is, you are happy when it warid warada, when it kind of approaches its water. So when it approaches its water being metaphorical for, drinking the blood of the enemy. So you're piercing into the enemy. It's like the sword is like an animal, a wild beast, and it's going and it's drinking from the body of the enemy, its blood. Just like a wild beast goes to a pool of water and it drinks from there. It kind of slurps it up and drinks it. So he's saying that these spears are the same. It just drinks up the water, and the sword is actually happy with you, because this is what the spear wants, guys. The spear wants, this is what it's been created for. It's been created to attack the enemy, and the spear is happy with you, O Abu Misk. Fi iradihi al-khayl, when you attack it. Fi iradihi al-khayl saqiyan. Yeah, so it could mean that you're not attacking the horses, but you're bringing the horses and you're holding the spear and you're piercing it into them. So when you bring the spears to drink, it's like you're bringing hungry animals, like hungry dogs or hungry wild beasts, to drink water. Look how happy they're going to be. They're going to be so happy with you. Saqi, and saqi means like feeding them. So he's kind of personifying it, giving it life as well. Again, this creates imagery in your mind. It creates powerful images, and it kind of like, it makes you just forget the poem, and it starts making you imagining things all over the place. Kataib, and the fourth thing, kataiba, armies. Man fakkat tajusu, you got such armies that continually go through in fakkat. Yeah, man fakkat tajusu, jasa yajusu, goes in and out. So this is like a good quality in an army, that will listen to you and will carry out, the nitty gritty sort of things in battle. It won't just attack and run away. It actually go through residential areas and it will catch every single one. It's like a surgical kind of strike it does. Yeah, it goes in and out, and they're not scared of anything. They're not scared of dying. They're prepared to go into residential areas. Like you have those kind of games, modern warfare games. I forgot the names now, but you guys know the names. Yeah. So, you kind of going with a gun and you got all your friends and you're going in and out the houses, and that's Jasa Yajusu basically. Jasat ilayha. And these armies have actually come from far away, and they've actually had to go through in and out wildernesses just to get to this destination. This is how powerful these armies are. This is how determined, this is how obedient and loyal these armies are to you. Yeah, so, it's got like, state-of-the-art army. غَزَوْتَ بِهَا دُورَ الْمُلُوكِ. You took these armies and you attacked, you fought against, in the homes, in the residence of big kings. In other words, this is difficult, this is, to take an army. Normally armies fight outside their cities, but you've taken the army inside the enemies, the cities of big kings who already have big armies, who already have things in place. You are so strong and brave. You've actually taken this army. You've gone into the enemy's cities, into the Dur al-Muluk, and Fabasharat, and he's giving imagery now. Like, so the camera is moving from this big army, entering into the city, going in and out all the houses. And then all of a sudden the camera goes in and you can see a horse with its hooves and it's stamping on skulls. Yeah, just a powerful image of death. It's not just death. It's like, just totally annihilating the enemy. Yeah, by crushing their heads with the hooves. Wal maghaniya, and the maghani are the places of residence. So he's giving violent imagery to this powerful king, that this king is a really good king, respectful, honorable, generous, but when you get on the wrong side of him, when you mess him around, this guy has horses like this, his sword is like this, his spears are like this, his army is like this. And not only that, so it also, the hooves are like attacking everything. It's like, you've got the perfect army basically. This is the kind of army every king wants. And also, when it comes to himself, he is so brave that he loves to be the first person to be pierced with the sword. Like he's not like one of those kings that stands right at the back and watches everything. Oh, he's actually one of those guys who's on the front line. Yeah, and he loves it when the first spear has been attacked towards him, pierced him. He hates it if he's in the second line, and he hates it. He feels it as like below him. He feels it as a dishonor if he is second to this. So he doesn't like this. So anyway, that's basically the poem, and this is the imagery it creates. Yeah. Now you don't get this kind of like theme in the Quran, as in you don't get, Allah's not talking about, because Allah is obviously beyond human beings, but you can see the imagery, the usage of wording, the expressions that are used, how the horses, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا وَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, the horses, sparks coming out. It gives you an image, it gives you the power, the loyalty of the horses, determination as well. So all of these things should be captured inside. And there's other things as well. Put in the comments, what do you guys get from this poem as well? What kind of feelings do you get from this? So وَقُدْتَ إِلَيْهَا كُلَّ أَجْرَدَ سَابِحٍ يُؤَدِّيكَ غَضْبَانًا وَيَثْنِيكَ رَاضِيًا وَمُخْتَرَةٍ ماضٍ يُطِيئُكَ آمِرًا وَيَعْصِي إِذَا اسْتَثْنَيْتَ أَوْ صِرْتَ نَاهِيًا وَأَسْمَرَ ذِي إشْرِينَ تَرْضَاهُ وَارِدًا وَيَرْضَاكَ فِي إِرَادِهِ الْخَيْلَ سَاقِيًا كتائب من فكت تجوس عمائرا من الأرض قد جاست إليها فيافية غزوت بها دور الملوك فباشرت سنابكها حاماتهم المغانية وأنت الذي تغشى الأسنة أولا وتأنف أن تغشى الأسنة ثانيا. Okay, so Jazakallah khair, guys. Have a go at that. Go back to the translation, how I translated it. Think of how the translation fits in and how this imagery works. And then try to read Quran then. Try to read verses of the Quran and how the Arabs, the Quranic language, is just so filled with imagery and feelings and emotions as well that are stirred when you read them. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to all my patrons for all the support you guys have shown me. If you guys love this video, then give me, a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Share it with all your friends and family. If you want to become a patron, if you want to support me making lots of more videos and you want to help me, then comment in the description. Check out the link. Become a patron. Support me in this, and there's lots of perks as well of becoming a patron for my channel. Right, check them out, inshallah. And Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. And again, thank you to all my patrons as well for all your support. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah reward you immensely. If you guys want to become a patron, then links in the description below. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.